Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Would you please give us your name and the branch of service that you participated in?
Yeah, my name is George Killingsworth, Jr. I served in the United States Navy and got out, went Army.
Okay. Well, my name is Letitia Ruffin-Cartwright, and assisting me and in the room with me is?
Trish Coons from the American Red Cross.
And today is November 1st, 2012. The first question I'd like to ask you, sir, is what wars and branch of service did you serve? Again, please, what wars did you serve and what branch of service did you serve?
I served 2 years in Vietnam with the Army, and that is it.
Okay, okay. And what was your rank, sir, when you were in the Army?
E4,
E4, okay. And where did you serve, sir?
Vietnam.
In Vietnam, okay. And were you drafted or did you enlist?
I volunteered.
You volunteered. Thank you very much, sir, for volunteering to serve our country. And where were you living at the time of your volunteering?
Lakeland, Florida.
Lakeland, Florida. And why did you join the military?
Why?
Yes, sir.
Just so I could get in the military.
Okay, you just wanted to be a part of the military. Okay, and why did you pick the Army? Why did you pick that branch of service?
I joined the Navy first
Okay, why did you join the Navy? Why did you choose the Navy?
because I wanted to be on board the ship. I figured that wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And do you recall your first days in service?
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit about that?
In boot camp in the Navy,
Yes, sir.
it's 8 weeks of boot camp, and they give you so much money, and you go to school.
Okay. And what about that training? What was that training experience like in boot camp?
A lot different than the Army.
Okay, a lot different than the Army. What was the difference there, if you could identify that?
Well, the difference is you're not allowed to walk going back from the mess hall to your room. You have to double time all the way back. But if there's more than one of you, you can walk back.
Okay. Okay. And do you remember your instructors when you were in boot camp? Can you
Yeah.
identify any of their names?
I don't remember any of them.
Okay. You don't remember any of them. Okay.
No.
And how did you make it through? What was that experience like being away from home? And now you're...
That was the first time I was ever away from home and anything, and the Navy decided I wasn't ready right for being in the service. I needed to get out. So they put me out. As soon as they put me out, Uncle Sam sent me a letter saying, "Greetings. From the President of the United States, you are hereby ordered to report to the nearest induction station center to be drafted into the service."
Okay.
So I had to go up to Jacksonville to the naval base and go in. Next thing I know, now I was sitting back in Vietnam and in OD Green. And I remember everything in basic training. I hated it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And where was your boot camp training?
My boot camp was at Gray Lakes.
Gray Lakes. Okay. What state is that?
That's in Illinois.
Okay. Okay. You can tell I'm not familiar with that, so thank you for giving me that information. Okay. And so you served in the Vietnam War, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And where exactly did you go in Vietnam? What area of Vietnam were you?
I was with the 101st Airborne, and I was there just above the 9.
Okay. And do you remember arriving there and what it was like when you arrived there for the first time?
Yeah, I was scared.
You were afraid. Yeah, yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that, if you will, please.
First day I was there, they dropped mortar rounds in it on us after we landed. And I didn't like that. I just wish the plane would have took off and took me back home. But they didn't. They unloaded us and told us that we were here to fight. And that's what we did. We fought.
And what was your job assignment there?
My job assignment in the Army was to guard the base and look out for all the stuff.
So you were supposed to guard the base, and so I take it since you arrived there and they dropped bombs, you said, so you did see combat, correct?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
And were there many casualties in your unit?
Yes.
Any in particular that you remember? Anybody who you had possibly befriended, taken on as a buddy? Was there any person like that?
Yeah.
Who was a part of a casualty?
I don't know if he was a casualty or what. But yeah.
Okay. And tell us about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Last time I went back to Vietnam, I got sent to the A Shaw Valley. That's the Valley of Death. And I did not like that.
And what was that one like?
That was hell.
Okay.
It took us 21 days to take we started to take the hill. I think it was on the 19th of May, or the 20th of May, we actually took the hill.
And were you ever a prisoner of war?
7 days.
7 days prisoner of war. Wow. Tell us about that experience and when were you freed?
I got free thanks to my smart brain. I got ordered to go outside the prison camp, clean up. And the guard that was supposed to be guarding me had to go to the bathroom. So he started taking off to go to the bathroom, and they started calling him. When he went to see what they wanted, I took off.
Good. Very good. So that's one of the most important pieces of that memory, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And were you awarded any medals or citations throughout your time?
Yes, I got the Silver Star for bravery,
Okay.
and then I got the Purple Heart.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And how did you get them?
I got wounded. That gave me my Purple Heart.
Okay.
And then I got the Silver Star for knocking out a mortar team by myself. And then I almost got court-martialed for doing that. Because we were told not to go nowhere, and I took off and went out after the mortar team.
Now, you mentioned that you got wounded. Did you want to share a little bit of that with us, how that what happened?
I got shot in the right knee.
Got shot in the right knee. Okay. 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 Let me ask you this. You had family in Lakeland still while you were in the military?
Yeah.
And can you identify those family members that you had at the time?
Well, they're still there.
Okay.
My mom's still there. My brothers and sisters are still there.
Okay. And what age were you when you went into the military?
19.
19 years old. Okay. And did you stay in touch with your family?
Yeah.
Were you able to send them letters, or how did you stay in touch with them?
All I had to do is write a letter to them, put it in an envelope, and write where the stamp goes, and write free.
Okay. 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 And what was the food like in the military?
Like food you can get around here.
Is that good, bad, or ugly?
Good.
Good food. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And did you have lots of supplies? You had ample supplies?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the rations that were sent from the Red Cross? any of the boxes that they sent in when you were a prisoner?
Yeah, I seen the boxes of the sea rations came in.
And so when you were a prisoner, did they allow you to eat what was given to you, or did they take that away from
They
you?
took that away from me.
And what did you eat while you were in prison? While you were a prisoner of war?
Eggs. And whatever they scrounge up to cook.
Whatever was left over from whatever they had left over, huh?
Yeah.
Because they took it first.
Did you feel pressure or any stress while you were there?
Yeah, they would want me to tell them my social security number and did I know any secrets.
Seems like something they might do. Okay, and what was special for you as far as a token, like a you know, people have rabbit foot or something like that. Did you have anything like that for good luck that you carried with your cross? Nothing
No.
like that. Okay. And what about entertainment? How did people entertain themselves?
Getting drunk.
Oh, okay. Okay. And were there entertainers who came to visit?
Yeah, we had a few.
Yeah, were there any that stick out in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a couple of them.
I don't know their names, but they came and put on a show for us.
Some shows, okay, okay. And what did you do when your first time on leave? What did you do?
Went home.
Went home to Lakeland. Okay, excellent, excellent. And where did you travel while you were in the service? You went to Vietnam. We know that you were there. What other places did you travel while you were in the service?
I went all over Vietnam.
Okay.
And I was stationed up at Dung Ha. And I went out from there.
Okay. Do you remember anything that was really, really humorous? Was there anything that kind of like brought you joy, or was there something that sometimes, some things that made you laugh? Like, were there other servicemen who were comedians or anything like that? Any fun times that you had?
Yeah, the day I got shot in the knee, I took my M16 and put a 40-round clip in it, and I emptied the thing into the guy that shot me. I wanted to make sure he didn't come back up and shoot me again out of the hole.
Teach anybody to shoot you in the knee.
Okay, and so what was some funny things like maybe you and the guys sitting around and joking? Any particular jokes that stick out in your head, or something funny that somebody did that sticks out in your head?
No, what got me is after about 9 days of fighting, trying to take Hamburger Hill, we came back to the base camp, get more ammo to go back up the hill again. And some of the Army personnel come down and said, we're never going to take the mountain. And let me tell you something, we took it.
You took it. Okay. Okay. Were there any pranks that anybody pulled, or did you pull any pranks on anybody throughout your time prior to you being wounded? Because probably once you were wounded, it was a little bit different. But was there any kind of pranks that you can remember that were pulled either by yourself or other servicemen who were there with you? Give us some examples, please.
Well, some of them will sit there and ask you what's your name, and then you tell them, and then they can't remember it. And then they ask what you're doing, and then you tell them, and then 5 minutes later they can't remember that. So I quit talking. Because it didn't do me no good to talk. When I said something, nobody listened. And we all wanted out of Vietnam.
I can imagine. Do you have any photographs?
I had some. They're in Lakeland, at my mom's house.
Okay, okay, well, that's good, that's good. And so, what did you think of officers or your fellow soldiers? What did you think of the officers who were in charge of you, who had authority over
They
you?
were nuts.
Nuts as in funny or,
Nuts like crazy.
okay,
Because they didn't want us to do anything. Because they said that it was too dangerous.
okay, so they really were trying to protect you, you think?
Yeah, they were. Like, I knocked out a mortar team and I got in trouble for that. They were wanting to court-martial me.
Okay. Did you ever keep a personal diary, Mr. Killingsworth?
No,
You did not? Okay. Okay.
I didn't want nothing like that to remind me of my future, in the future.
Okay, okay. So now, what about the day that your service ended?
I got to go home.
That is bringing a smile to your face.
Yes,
Wow, wow. And where were you? You left from where and came to Lakeland. Where did you leave from?
I left from Vietnam.
From Vietnam. So you spent the whole time in Vietnam?
I spent a year there.
Okay. And how long were you in the service total?
I'll have to get my card out to look at it.
Do you remember the year that you went in? What year did you go in?
I went in, I don't know, let me see if I can find it. If I got my card.
You
Oh,
said
don't worry
you
about
went in at the year of 19 years old.
Yeah,
So what year were you born?
1949.
Okay, okay. So that was about 19 years old, so that was 59?
No, that'd be 10 years.
69. So 1969. 68. 68.
Yeah,
Okay.
68.
So 1968 you went in. Okay. And do you don't remember the year that you came out?
72.
Okay. Okay. So 4 years then. Basically 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Awesome.
Okay, great, thank you, sir. Okay, and what did you do in the days and the weeks right after you came out?
Try to forget about it. I went to my preacher and I told him how I felt. I told him I thought I had sinned against God because I killed. And he said, son, you didn't kill. The soldiers that ordered you to do that will be the one that has to pay for the price, not you.
Okay.
How did your family treat you when you got back?
Okay.
Yeah, they were welcoming, they wanted you back.
No, my mom didn't.
Ah,
She asked her why I didn't just stay over there.
oh, I see.
Okay.
Did you get a job once you got out?
Yeah, I worked for my dad.
Okay, and what kind of business was that?
He owned Georgia's Truck Center.
Okay. And did you think about going back to school, going to college?
I went back to school.
Good, very good, very good. And when you went back to school, was your education supported by the GI Bill?
Yes.
Very good, very good. Did you make any close friends while you were in the service?
Yeah.
And are any of them still alive with us today?
I don't know.
So you don't stay in touch with them?
No.
Okay. Did you ever take part in any veterans organizations? Did you join any veterans organizations?
VFW.
The VFW, okay, and that was in Lakeland also?
Yep.
Okay. And now, you said you did or didn't continue, when you said you met some friends, but did you continue relationships with them immediately afterwards? Or?
No.
You just had that relationship while you were there?
I just remember a couple of them
Okay.
that I was able to stay in touch with.
Oh, good. Okay, that's very good. Very good. Okay. And what did you do as a career after the war? You mentioned you you worked with your father, did you do anything outside of that? You mentioned you went back to school. Did you go into any other career? I know sometimes when you're in the military, you get to go work at the post office or some
No,
of those kinds of places.
I went out and went to work with my dad.
So you utilized anything from the military? Did you use that in working for your dad? Any of your experiences with the
I was a
military?
truck driver in the military.
Okay, truck driving. You probably did that with your dad then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you can utilize a lot of your experiences there.
So you did utilize some of your military experiences with the trucking company?
Yeah.
Okay, and give me some examples of what you actually did when you were in the military that you brought home with you when you came home and you used those skills when you were with your father.
I drove the truck.
Okay, and that's what you also did in the military, you
Yeah.
drove truck. Okay.
Well, when you went to school, you said you used the GI Bill. What did you study, or was there any specialty that you were studying?
I went back in and took a GED test,
Awesome.
and I passed.
Good.
First time I ever took it.
Oh, good, congratulations, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, because you have to get a high percentage of it, and I did. I had a very high percentage.
Fabulous.
Okay, now, did you ever go to any reunions? Did any of your company, did they have a reunion or anything like that that you were invited to? No, did not. And let's see, tell us something on your own. Just give us a little bit about your experience. You give us some of your experience of being there.
I didn't want to be there.
But while you were there, what'd you entertain in your head to keep yourself sane?
Exactly.
Fell in love.
Yeah.
Oh, how beautiful. Well, tell us a little bit about that. We love love. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there was a girl in our unit that used to come. She washed my clothes, and I fell in love with her.
Beautiful.
And I wanted to marry her, but my CO said no.
Whatever happened? Did you ever keep in touch with her?
Uh-uh.
Nothing.
I come home. I didn't write her because I didn't know where to send it, so there wasn't no sense in writing.
Okay. So now, when you came home, did you start a family, or you already have a family? Start your own family? Your wife? Did
I got married. My wife turned around and started running out on me.
Do you have children? No children.
Okay. So let's see something else. Tell us something else that I know you said you really didn't want to be there, but while you were there, how did you make the best out of your time being there? I know you said you fell in love. What else did you do other than falling in love? Did you read books? Did you listen to music? Read magazines?
Yeah, I read books. I listened to music.
Now, you said that you had time to come home. They gave you leave. From Vietnam, you came back to Florida, visited with folks and stuff like that. How did you utilize that time when you were here at the house?
I come home. I went to Lakeland. My dad was alive still. And he was glad for me to come home. But my mom sure wasn't. She asked me why I didn't just stay over there.
And sometimes that's the way that the moms have to keep it in their heads, because probably in the fear that she would have lost you.
You know, I was a POW for a week and a half. My mom said, why didn't you just stay there? Because I hate being in a POW camp.
I bet. I don't think there was anybody who did.
What about your brothers? And you said you had siblings. What about your siblings? Did you have a good time with them when you came? Did
Yeah.
You'll hang out? Or?
We hung out, and I was mowing my dad's yard with a tractor, and my brother found something in the trunk of my car, and he pulled the pin, and it started whistling, and he threw it down, and I heard the whistling. It sounded like an incoming round. And then the canister exploded.
What happened?
I dove off the tractor
Where'd the tractor go?
in the ditch
Oh, jeez.
and turned over.
So, and how long were you home for leave? How long were you home at home?
First time,
Yes,
30 days.
30 days.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
And then what about how many times did you come home on leave throughout your time?
I came home one time that first tour of duty, and I came home one time the second tour of duty.
Okay, and did you just spend time, all your time in Lakeland, or did you travel around other places while you were at home? Or
I
did you
traveled around Lake Florida.
Just, okay.
Now, I'm just curious, how was the treatment while you were a POW? Can you tell me what a day in the life of being a POW is like?
We weren't allowed to talk. We weren't allowed to do anything, really.
All right. Was there any kind of code that you were doing, any semaphore or SOS or anything like that? You know, tapping on rocks, anything that you did to converse with any of the other people that were there? Or did you even know?
I didn't know any of them because I wasn't in there very long.
Okay.
Did anyone else in your company become a POW also? You don't know that?
No, but I can tell you who rescued me was Marines. I took off running when I got a chance to get out and go. I was gone. And the guy that was supposed to be guarding me, I don't know whatever happened to him.
How long were you on the run
That day.
that day? And so you ran into the Marines, or did the Marines
I ran
find-
into the Marines. They were looking for the POW camp I was in.
So did you lead them back over there?
Yeah. We went back over there and we shot the guards and they freed all the Marines.
Excellent. You remember that day that they got you? And did you come home automatically, or what did you do?
I came home because it was time for me to get home anyway.
And then when you were injured, how long did that pull you out of service?
They didn't pull me out of service.
No, I don't mean from the military on a whole. I mean, how many days were you down, unable to serve in your full capacity?
I never stopped serving.
Oh,
Excellent. So you just kept going.
I could still walk.
So how long have you been here at the VA hospital?
Probably a couple of months.
so when you went from your boot camp to your first, what was the first office that you were given? Like I see here on your form, you have that you were a third class petty officer.
That's
You were-
Navy.
That was in the Navy. So, well, tell us some about your Navy experiences. What about on the ship? How was that, being on that ship?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I wish I'd never went in the Army. I wish I'd stayed back Navy.
right.
Because any time we went I went to GQ, I was no longer the enlisted man. I was an officer.
So you enjoyed being on the ship. And what was your responsibility on the ship?
I was a sonar tech.
Pardon me?
I was a sonar tech. I listened to sonar sets.
Okay.
So being an officer on a boat, you probably got to eat some good chow. You had a decent stateroom or something that you stayed in, officers' quarters.
I was at the end of officers' quarters. But you want to know something? Every time we dismissed from GQ, I lost my officer's rank. I came back down as an enlisted man. The only time I went in an infantry or a private is when we went to the battle. And then I became an officer.
Now, what was the name of your ship?
USS Long Beach.
Long Beach. Fabulous.
Well, is there anything you want to tell us about that Navy experience, just on your own, randomly? Tell us about something
Oh, I had
else.
fun in the Navy.
Good. Tell us about some fun times.
Well, a lot of guys in my boot camp, we got to kidding around. Because you're not allowed to walk from the mess hall back to your billets. You had to run. Unless there's a bunch of you, then y'all could all walk back.
But if you were alone, you had to run back.
Yeah, I had to run back.
Okay. And what about some humorous moments there? I see that brought a smile to your face when you started talking about the Navy. What are some of the humorous moments about the Navy
Well,
that you remember?
I remember the Navy didn't want me. Because they wanted me out.
Why was that?
Because I couldn't do some of the things they wanted me to do.
Physically?
Physically. But you want to know something? I'm a diabetic. And I can't do a lot of things normally that a normal person should be able to do. And they didn't like that.
But you persevered.
Yeah, I survived.
You did.
Very good.
Until
Mr.
the Navy kicked me out.
But you did your best while you were there.
Yeah.
That's what's most important. And you did your best when you were in the Army.
Yeah.
That's most important. And sir, I want to say thank you very much for that. And we're going to end this interview unless there's something special you'd like to say. I'll ask you this question. If you had a word to give to a young person who was considering the military today, what would that word be? Words of encouragement, what would you tell them?
Join the Navy, don't go Army.
Excellent, Mr. Killingsworth. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you
time.
very much, sir.
Love your stories.
We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right.
And thank you for serving the United States of America and all of our people.